we are back.
It's been a couple of weeks.
Yes, it's been at least 2 weeks, but we are back. Have no fear. That's how it goes in my brain when we're not recording. I love that. So last time we recorded, we mentioned that we were going to go see Batman.
Not Batman.
The Batman. That's right. The Batman.
The Batman.
And Tom Segura on
Yes.
Coming Everywhere tour.
And yes, he did.
Yes, he did. All right, so let's begin with The Batman.
The Batman.
The Batman. Initial impressions. Go.
Loved it. Loved it.
Heck yes.
Maybe it's just my own thing, but I'm so sick of every movie using rain. Can we stop with the rain? There are other weather effects that you can use besides water. Stop. Other than that, loved it. I loved the Riddler. I thought the way they portrayed him was a lot darker than what we're used to seeing from the Riddler.
Yeah. What's his name? Jim Carrey. Batman Forever.
Yeah.
The Mr. Papa Boner in spandex.
Yeah.
Or skin tight suit, whatever it was made of.
Even in like the comics or the games, like he's one of the goofy ones. He's not like a normal, or like I don't think of him as like a normal stereotypical like super evil sadistic murderer.
Yeah, the only time he was portrayed that way is when he technically was no longer the Riddler. That was Hush.
So like I loved the way they portrayed him. It was a dark film in that it fits because he's an anti-hero.
Yes.
So
Which was great to actually see, like, society not be ready for him. Granted, this is also 2 years into his career being Batman.
yes.
So it's not that much time. But I loved the opening of just every criminal. They just showed a bunch of random criminals, and they all just are like, they see the bat signal, and then they just look in the shadows, and they're terrified, thinking he's there. Until finally, we see one criminal. No, he's not there. He wasn't there. Second, not there. Third, not there. Till finally, you hear those steps.
That's what I was building up to. Was you hear the steps, and it felt like I was watching a Western.
Yeah.
Like hearing the spurs of the boots, but it was just heavy thuds, and you knew. And I loved that. I love the way they portrayed the Batman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Robert Pattinson, he
did a great job.
Killed it. Like, the thing is, when you play Batman, you don't have to do too much.
No.
And he definitely showed it. Also, we saw a unique, I almost said Bruce Banner. I've been doing that a lot lately, where instead of Bruce Wayne, I say Bruce Banner. But he gave a very different portrayal of Wayne.
The raccoon eyes after every night out.
Actually, yeah, that's another subtle detail you don't see in any of the others. Like, I think, even in the, who played... Dude, I'm having a weird brain fire where I'm just forgetting everything. The first Batman, live action. Not Adam West, for movies. Keaton. Michael Keaton.
Really? He was after West? I mean, I know he was after West because West was way back.
Yeah.
He was the first live action after West.
I want to say so.
Holy crap.
I could be wrong, but...
Now, the Michael Keaton one, or did he only have one? He had more than one, didn't he?
He had two.
One of those two was the Jack Nicholson one, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I just want to give Nicholson an honorable mention.
Mm-hmm.
He's my favorite Joker, just because, like, the...
Really?
The time of the movies, because that was, what, the 80s?
If not, it was early 90s.
Like, just because of the time era of the movies, like, he's a good Joker, but he's a very silly Joker.
Yeah, he's
at the same time.
He's a gangster.
Like, what my favorite scene will always be him doing his little dance at the art museum.
Yeah, that's a very iconic one.
It's always been my favorite scene from that movie specifically, and it's always stuck with me. And he's my favorite Joker, but I think Heath Ledger is the best Joker by far, not even close.
So what I was bringing up with those, so even in the Keaton movies, you'll see when he's Batman, he's got the eye makeup, but then he'll take off his rubber mask and then they'll do a cutaway to the reaction of the lady going, "Oh my God, he's taking off the mask," and then they'll cut back to him, and he doesn't have the makeup on. So it's like these subtle, realistic details that Wayne still has the coon makeup on.
Yep.
The coon.
The coon and friends.
The coon and friend. So one reason other than the physical like aspect of his makeup, what I mainly mean is so Christian Bale, when he portrayed Wayne, and Michael Keaton, for example, he was, kind of like a playboy, which is very much what Wayne is in the cartoons and stuff. But it was just weird to actually see a depressed, angsty Wayne
Yeah.
and he didn't even have to say anything. It's
No,
just
he
in
didn't.
the way he carried himself, and it makes sense. He's in the early stages. He's finally, quote unquote, getting himself into who he wants to be. And even throughout the movie, he says, "I am vengeance." And then he has that growth when the father he saw in the funeral scene saying, not in the funeral scene, but when he finally does confront him again, he unmasks him when he's one of the guys pretending to be the Riddler.
Yep.
And he goes, "I'm vengeance." And he goes, "Oh, crap. I've been saying that. And he's saying that, but I see what it means. I can no longer be vengeance. That's not what the city needs. They need Harvey."
Yeah, like, you can see in his face, he's like, "Oh no," and so I'm just gonna backtrack a little bit, and by a little bit I mean a lot. I like the way that like they portrayed how the rest of Gotham looks at
Yeah.
him. I like the way how like the police
They don't fully trust him.
they don't trust him. You can tell that they fear him. They don't like him.
I mean, he is a vigilante.
He is, and wherever he goes, he just instantly commands the room. Whether the people want to or not, they stare at him, and he's there, and he has a very heavy presence.
Yeah.
Everywhere he
And
goes.
The best thing is he doesn't have to say anything. In one of the very first scenes when that police officer's like, "You're letting him in here?" And then Batman just looks at him, and then the guy just looks back and then steps aside. And then they keep doing that. Like another female cop, she's like, "Seriously, Gordon, you're having him here?" And then Batman just looks at her, and then she's just like,
I thought it was funny when the same cop sees Bruce Wayne and he's
Oh,
he's like
yeah.
all about him. He's like, it's Bruce Wayne.
The twins do the same thing.
Yeah.
At the, what do you call it? The club. What was the name of the club?
I don't remember.
I just know it was an ice pun.
But I liked how they portrayed, was it Merloni?
So that's actually a name they change a lot. Like, everybody says it however they want. But I think it was Maroni.
I think
Marone.
so.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my
But
head.
the Italian gangster.
But I like how they did that in the Falcone,
Yeah, Falcone.
and the whole aftermath of all of that. I thought that was great. It was very different than the Christian Bale ones, which, I mean, as you know, are my personal favorite Batman movies. But I liked how different it was. I liked that they introduced the Penguin. I was very disappointed that we didn't get to see the stupid umbrella weapons. Those are wacky and tacky, but
Yep.
they're a lot of fun because
But they
they're
did
very...
do a nice setup that he might be a potential villain.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Instead of a side villain, that's kind of what he was. He was kind of like the, everybody's like, "Oh, I know who that guy is, so we're going to pay more attention to him." What do you call that? The distraction.
yeah, pretty much. But he's not dead, so he can be in the second one, couldn't he?
I believe that's probably their plan. They might pull a Scarecrow and have him in all the movies, but they might not,
I want them
doing
to do
him a disservice.
Mr. Freeze.
Dude,
He doesn't
Other
get
than-
utilized enough.
I mean, he got Arnold
he's fun.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, but he's fun. And I feel like everyone knows who Mr. Freeze is just because of how stupid his costume looks in the comics.
Which is interesting. So he was my favorite villain when I was a kid. My
Mine too.
favorite Batman villain, I should say, because there was the Batman show on WB Kids, I believe, and it was a more sci-fi twist off of Batman. So they kind of were just like, yeah, he's got these really cool gadgets that everybody knows, but we're not going to make them look lame. We're going to make them look cooler. And so the Mr. Freeze in that, his costume was pictured like a spiky iceberg as his helmet, and he had red eyes, and he was jacked too.
Did you ever see the Mr. Freeze from the Adam West show?
Oh my god, yes.
It's terrible, but I love it.
The one that's in the original Batman cartoon where he's just got like a cylinder on his head, I liked that.
Yeah.
It's classic.
That's what I picture in my head whenever I hear Mr. Freeze. So...
Unfortunately, the first one that comes to mind for me is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Nice to meet you.
I really want them to do like a Mr. Freeze or Poison Ivy. Do one of the villains that we know that it can. I mean, Mr. Freeze could probably still command a lot of attention if you know he's the main villain.
You know who I want? Clayface.
Yo,
Clayface would be super cool, especially if they go in this dark direction, dude. Imagine watching the horrific transformation of him. Oh my god, that would be like rated R.
what I secretly want, but I don't actually want, would be a Condiment Man.
Oh my god. You know, I feel like that would be a fun nod. Like, open the movie with him. And,
Yeah.
like, in a little chase, and he's like, you can't catch me, I'm the Condiment Man.
Just squirts mustard on all the cop cars.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, they get into car accidents. One actually dies, and that's kind of funny because it's like, you just died to the dumbest villain. He's got his tidy whities. Oh, they shouldn't put, like, poop stains on it. I feel like that would be really disgusting and funny and really fitting.
So, who do you think the villain was at the end in Arkham?
I believe in the credits, he was only credited as prisoner number 1 or 2.
Yeah, they didn't give him a name, and I even looked it up on Wikipedia to see if I could find like who was cast, and it didn't say. It just said that he was a prisoner.
Yeah, so if I'm remembering correctly, there was a cipher that people actually solved that brought them to a website that gave just some potential information for the potential sequel. And I think people were saying that it basically is Joker. And it's probably not confirmed that that would be how he would be portrayed. You know, it's kind of like a throwaway thing.
Right. To me, at first, it looked like it was Two-Face.
That's what I thought. It looked actually almost identical, like, teeth-wise to the one in Batman Forever.
I don't know that actor's name.
He's in everything. Or not everything, but he's in a lot.
Yeah. I don't know his name.
I don't recall. Is that the same one, same actor who's in Jurassic Park?
Is he in Jurassic Park?
Is that not him, or am I thinking of somebody else?
Oh,
wait, no, I'm not. No, not Jurassic Park. Sorry, Men in Black.
Is he in Men in Black?
Yeah. He's
in the first one?
I think he's in all of them.
You know what? I'm gonna Google this.
He's the one that retires at the end of Men in Black 1, but then they bring him back in like every single other one.
Harvey Dent, actor, Batman.
Forever.
Batman. No, I almost said Batman Begins. Batman.
Forever.
Batman Forever. Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones,
Yeah.
yes.
I was thinking of the Christian Bale ones.
Oh. Yeah, what's his name? He's a phenomenal actor. He's in Paycheck. He plays the villain in that. He plays the president in, I think, Olympus Has Fallen.
Oh, really?
I believe so. I could be getting my actors mixed up, but
Okay.
but yeah, Tommy Lee Jones, he's great.
The Dark Knight. That's what we're looking for. Batman. The Dark Knight.
Harvey Dent.
Aaron Eckhart.
Name doesn't ring a bell, but if you say so.
Well, you know what? We are gonna look up his filmography.
Oh yeah, see if I've got the right guy in mind.
So I'm just gonna read movies until you say you know the movie. Starting with his first one, Slaughter of the Innocents, that came out in '93.
Whoa, that's an epic title.
In the Company of Men, he plays a man named Chad.
He does have a Chad jawline.
He does. And then it goes Your Friends and Neighbors, Thursday, Molly, Any Given Sunday, He's in Aaron Brockovich.
Oh,
Nurse Betty, Tumble, The Pledge, Possession, The Core.
jeez.
I feel like I know his face from something. I just
Do
can't
you
figure
see
it out.
the movie Paycheck anywhere?
What year did that come out?
Yes. It's got here. It's got Uma Thurman in it. I don't know if that helps. So that's what, probably 90s, early 2000s.
No, but I'm gonna check television. I know he's done like very little television shows.
Well, anyways,
Oh well.
the Riddler. What's the name of the actor that played him in this movie?
I don't know. I've never heard of him until
Yeah,
Until
I've
I
heard
saw the credits,
People
like-
going, "Yo, this guy did a great job." But
it's like
he's in
Paul
blah, 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 blah.
Dano or something like that. I think
Paul Dano.
Dano.
Yeah, something like that.
Paul Danish.
Yeah, I don't recognize him. I thought I would recognize his face, but
Yeah, I was very surprised at how they ended up capturing him. I thought it was going to be
Yeah.
a lot more of like a chase kind of.
yeah,
Let's
he
see if
just
you can
let
find me.
himself get captured.
Which I don't want to say it was a letdown, but it caught me off guard that he just let himself like that.
So when he did let himself get captured, I figured he would pull a Joker and like have a plan where he was like, "I wanted to be captured just so I can escape in an epic way."
That's exactly what I thought. I also like how they made Batman really smart. You know, as he is the world's greatest detective
At times,
at times.
there was a very obvious riddle that I was like, "Oh my god, why are you dragging this out? He should know this." It was like they went to an orphanage when the answer to the riddle was Bruce Wayne. I was like, "Are you kidding me? You're going to the orphanage that's named after your parent, or that your parents bought, or whatever." And the answer isn't orphanage, it's orphan. You dumb Batman. And you, Gordon, too. You should know better.
Yep.
And then it's like, oh no, Alfred's gonna die.
I also really like this Alfred.
Yes, Andy Serkis is a phenomenal actor, and I didn't know he could actually play kind of like a stoic, silent type.
I didn't either, but
Used to him being the pressure seeker.
he did a very good job. I really liked how they made Alfred not like 95 years old and
Yes.
talking like this,
I mean, yeah,
Mr. Wine.
He would be his parents' age, if not maybe slightly older.
Yeah. And he actually knew how to use technology.
Yes, and he helped him solve
He
stuff like
helped.
Alfred does. Alfred drives the freaking
He
Batmobile.
actually helped. The Batmobile. Can we talk about that?
Oh my god! Sorry if we're all over the place. We're just gonna be jumping over points.
They didn't make it some impenetrable tank.
Yes, they made it like
They
an
made it
American muscle car.
A really nice looking car.
And the sound it made. It makes non-car enthusiasts as ourselves.
I had to do a waistband tuck.
Yes. I had to
And
get new pants.
It was so big I had to do two. Yeah. No.
So you actually wore underwear that night then?
No.
Oh, no.
No. It just went up and like it wrapped around the earth and came back through the other side, and I had to tuck it in the other
That's
side.
why the tides were off. Okay.
Yep, that's why.
But yeah, oh wow, yeah, that Batmobile was awesome.
Oh,
I don't think I've seen a Batmobile that I didn't like. I cannot say anything about Ben Affleck's Batmobile because I honestly don't even know what it looks like or
I
if they
could
ever
not
showed it.
care less.
Yeah, no offense to Ben Affleck, but those films were
They
hot
were
garbage.
unnecessary.
They were hot garbage. They were not good.
They were unnecessary. They made his suit look too stupid.
See, the suit didn't bother me,
As-
and the fact that Ben Affleck was Batman used to, and then when I saw him act, I was like, honestly, he's not bad. He actually has the look for Wayne, at least. But I don't know, man. Just those movies.
I don't know. I saw how he looked in the suit, like in some of the trailers, and it didn't sell me on it.
I don't know, man. It's hard. You can't please everybody. I was gonna say it's hard to please people,
Nope.
but you can't please everybody. We're some harsh critics on those films / that era.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't their best.
No, the Jared Leto era of DC movies, far from good.
Yeah, that's being nice.
So speaking of Jared Leto, we saw him when we were in Boston. Not him, but a poster or a giant sign
For Gucci.
Gucci, yeah, and he's on it, and
With his long, flowy hair.
yeah, and we were just like,
it does not look
we were
good.
making fun of him.
I mean, you have to, 'cause he does not look like he should be modeling for Gucci.
Yeah, and his facial expression was just very disinterested.
I mean, I don't blame him, but in all honesty, it made me want to buy Gucci just because of how out of place he looked.
And you look very out of place a lot of the times in how you dress.
Yes, I do. I take that as a compliment.
Yeah. Which this can actually be a good segue into what we're doing in Boston. We can always go back to the Batman.
Yeah, just so we don't forget, I just want to say it so you know too. I want to talk about at some point how Zoe Kravitz
You know what? We'll stay on topic.
played Catwoman.
We'll get into what we did in Boston in a bit. We'll stay on topic. Yes.
The one thing that made me chuckle though was the obvious waist shaking that she did when she walked.
Oh yeah.
Like that cracked me up so hard. It was so unnecessary.
Did that for like 2 points. A, sexual appeal, and then B, because cats' butts move when they walk.
Yes, but it cracked me up watching it because it's just this very thin waist, and then you just see the hips shaking, like she's doing a hula hoop or something. It cracked me up so much.
I wonder if that's exactly what the director told her to do. Be like, walk like you've got a hula hoop.
But I mean, I thought she did great. I loved the back and forth.
Yeah.
They were drawn to each other. But at the same time, they don't like each other.
Yes.
But they do.
But they have that physical attraction, and at the same time, they're like, wait, you're just as destroyed as me. Let's have children.
So I really liked the dynamic of those two in the movie. I really liked the portrayal of Catwoman.
Yeah, I thought her costume was cool, too.
I did, too.
Like, because you could tell it's not her official costume yet, because she's also just starting out, but
yeah,
it was cool to see that they
the little
allied...
mask over her face.
I liked to see them ally themselves in the way they did, because a lot of the times in like the old cartoons, they would ally themselves because Batman obviously is doing it for a good reason, but she's getting something out of it personally. She's got a personal investment, but her morality always does get the best of her. So even if she's like, I'm just in it for the money, honey, she's like, ugh, fine. So even if she leaves, she always comes back to save his life.
Which is what she did in the movie.
Exactly. And it's like, that's Catwoman. Like, I mean, that's how cats act.
Yep. I honestly thought that, I don't know if I should praise the writing, the directing, the acting, all of it, some of it. But when it comes to Catwoman in particular, I thought they nailed it.
They did.
I thought they absolutely nailed it.
Yeah.
The whole movie as a whole was phenomenal, in my opinion.
No, I'm there with you, and I won't say Harry Potter is the only thing I can recognize Robert Pattinson from. I've never seen Twilight. I just know that he's the star of that.
Oh, I was gonna say, we make fun of you for the tattoo that you have.
So I have a wolf tattoo from the Iron Banner series in the video game franchise Destiny, and my boss made a joke saying, "Oh, you like Twilight?" And he had to explain it because I did not get it at first.
Now that's Team Edward, right?
No, Edward's a vampire.
So then you'd be Team Robert.
That's the name of the actor.
Well, yeah, but I don't know the other.
The wolf is Team Jacob or something like that.
Okay.
And then the actor who plays him, he's Shark Boy.
Oh!
I don't remember his name.
I don't know.
But yeah, so, wow, I can't even say his name. Robert Pattinson, wow, holy crap.
He did great.
He sold me on him being Batman, like, his costume design, his acting.
They didn't overuse his stupid bat tools.
Yeah, no, not the dumb ones, at least. I liked the Batcave.
That was really cool. It felt like a Batcave. It didn't feel like some stupid, overhyped, overused, overplayed.
It was cool because they show that
cave.
it was part of the old Wayne mines, and I was like, that's freaking cool.
Yeah,
like,
it
good
was.
Utilization of the
It
lore
looked
there.
like how the Batcave should look.
And it still had aspects of like there was that grand staircase though
Mm-hmm.
that you would see out on the outside of like a manor, and they
Yep.
had that on the inside.
Yep.
I loved it.
It looked really good.
I look forward to seeing a sequel to this movie and seeing like potentially like them just even cutting to like years later now. So say he's been Batman for like maybe like 5 years, so that would be 3 years after this movie, and then to see he's got like maybe 30 more monitors or whatever. 'Cause I think right now he's like rocking 5 or something like that, which is
Yeah.
or maybe even just one desktop. He could keep it, but I'm just saying like maybe seeing the expansion is like whoa, he's really doing well. Also to maybe even see the evolution of him as Wayne. Because another thing that this Alfred kept telling him, he was like, you need to keep up your image. You need to keep up your image. And he was like, I don't care about that. And then at the end, he's like, okay, I do realize that. He had that same realization at the end, like around the same time with that guy going, I'm vengeance. And he's like, oh crap. So I loved the growth, just the growth of the character and him not just being this perfect super detective.
Because he's not.
And to go with your Catwoman comments, loved her. I have not a single negative thing to say about her portrayal, her acting, the writing of her. I thought it was absolutely perfect. And so much better than Anne Hathaway. I don't understand why everybody loved Anne Hathaway
I don't know.
as Catwoman.
I didn't love her. I didn't hate her.
No disrespect to Anne Hathaway. It's not her fault. It's just that character sucked.
That whole movie wasn't the best work in that trilogy.
No, it was the first movie for the second time.
Yeah.
Dude, they had the League of Shadows again. Bane was a simp for the League of Shadows and not his own villain.
Yeah.
And that in itself I don't have a problem with. It's just that was his defining character trait.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I liked how Tom Hardy played Bane.
Oh, yeah.
I liked, as a character, I liked Bane in that
As much
movie.
as they make fun of his voice, I love it.
I do too. Like, it's really cool.
It's funny. Have you watched the animated Harley Quinn show?
No. You told me to like
need
3 years
because they have Bane in that movie, but they clearly are trying to be Tom Hardy being Bane, so they go over the board. So it's like they've got the classic look for Bane, but they use that voice, and he's just like, "Look, Harley, you can be in the cover of Playboy magazine. You'd look so cute." And he's like hugging the magazine when like doing like he's squinting. He's clearly got a smile underneath his mask, and it's completely ridiculous, but it's just great. It's just so funny.
ago. Okay, I gotta watch this. Specifically for that.
Oh, there's that. There's to see the Joker yelling the F-bomb all the time is actually really funny.
It makes sense.
And seeing the Batman being a total washed up old man. It's phenomenal.
I'll check it out.
Oh, you need to.
Where can I find it?
I watched it when I watched it on HBO. HBO
All right,
Max.
I'll set up a HBO. I gotta do that.
So the seasons are very short. I think there's only 2 or 3. The voice acting's phenomenal. I don't know who it was that voice acted Harley Quinn. I never confirmed it.
You know who would know?
Google.
Ben.
Oh, true. Yes. Ben, you would know. Tell us. I'm assuming you've
Tell
seen
us
that show.
right now.
I think you'd love it if you haven't seen it. Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn are lesbians in that one.
I've seen snippets of that.
It's really funny how they
I haven't
made their
Googled it. It just
relationship.
makes its round on Instagram. I just want to clarify that. I don't look up Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy going at it.
No. So the reason why I pointed that out as a selling point for Ben is because I just know how much he loves the Margot Robbie portrayal of Harley Quinn, and they go for her look in this one. So it opens with her in her classic look, and then she gets dumped by the Joker, and then the whole series is basically her getting over him, and then Poison Ivy just like trying not to get into a relationship with her, and then Harley Quinn just somehow whittles it. that they become
Yeah, of
a
course.
couple. Spoiler alert, I guess. I don't know. To me, that's a very minor plot point.
Well, yeah, I mean, as long as that's not the whole plot of the
No.
whole series
No.
and the major plot.
No, the major plot is what happens to the world. It's great. The whole universe, basically.
All right, I'll check it out.
It's so phenomenal. I could keep talking about that.
Let's talk about Boston.
So in Boston, we went to see the Tom Segura I'm Coming Everywhere tour.
Segura.
Tom Segura.
Great show.
At the Wang Theater.
Master Wang.
At the Master Wang. Yeah, they had an automated, like, while you're waiting inside the theater, they had his playlist playing, and then they had an automated voice that would come and interrupt the songs, unfortunately, and it would be like, welcome to the Tom Segura Show at the Wank Theater.
The
And I was
Wank,
like-
not even the Wang.
I was like,
the Wank.
It's like, you could tell they were trying to say Wang, but they're those people that do
For real.
the people who have, like, it sounds like they're always nasally.
Yeah.
So they're always going, the Wank.
His playlist, though,
It was fire.
we were like the only two white guys that
And
were
we were
jamming out.
bopping to it.
We
too.
were.
We were just headbanging. You know more lyrics than I do.
I do.
I knew best protect your neck.
Best protect. You know, best protect
That's what
your
I
neck.
do.
I mean, you knew Regulate.
Regulator.
You and I were jamming out to that
Yes.
song. I mean, it was a room full of mainly white people, and we were the only two white people that I could see that were
Yes.
jamming out the whole time.
In a 180-degree radius around us was all white people at least.
Yeah. I mean, I maybe saw a couple black people,
Mm-hmm.
Asian people,
But yeah.
Hispanic. But we were the only two that were jamming out the
Mm-hmm.
whole time. You had Cypress Hill. Is it House of Pain that sings Jump Around? I can't remember.
You know, I actually never knew that information. So
Oh.
I couldn't tell you yes
So,
or no.
if I'm wrong, please forgive me, but I believe it's House of Pain. So they had Jump Around, they had Insane in the Membrane.
Oh yeah, that's ICP, right?
No.
No? It sounds just like them to me.
For which one?
Insane in the Membrane.
I believe that one's Cypress Hill.
Oh, okay. My
He
bad.
he had a couple of Wu-Tang songs.
Yes,
he had
yeah,
an
there was at
Eminem
least
song.
3.
Warren G. It was a jamming
Mm-hmm.
playlist.
And then when that finally ended, Sewage Joe. I'm sorry, I don't know his actual name, but
You
he
know what?
plays Sewage
We were talking
Joe.
about that afterwards too. I'm gonna look him
Yeah,
up.
look, we got to give him an actual shout out because he was the
Sewage
opener.
Joe.
So you hear Tom Segura's voice off stage through the microphone. He goes, "Hey guys, we're gonna get started soon, but to open up, my good friend so and so,
Kirk Fox.
Kirk." I now it's like coming right back to me because I remember I couldn't tell if he said Kurt or Kirk.
I thought he said Kirk, which is why I thought it was Kurt because my hearing is awful.
Yes. So is it Kirk?
Kirk.
Okay, Kirk
Kirk,
Fox.
like Captain Kirk.
All right. Yeah. So wow. So he what, like 15 minutes?
Ish, yeah, and that's what he looks like. And
Nope.
after hearing his material, he definitely
I
fits
was-
the bill.
So I was picturing him as Sewage Joe with his porn stash. Like he had a much thicker one that like covers his whole front upper lip. And
Naturally.
so he basically described himself. One of his jokes that he did. I'm trying not to repeat like his jokes and Tom's jokes just because I know, I don't want to steal anything. But I'll just like kind of give a little shout out to this one. He says, "I'm not a pedophile, but I know I look like, or I resemble one, like physically."
They were both very funny.
If you're not into crude humor, you would definitely not
No.
like Kirk Fox, and definitely not Tom Segura.
No.
Especially, I mean, can you tell his tour name for this one was "I'm Coming Everywhere,"
Yeah.
and he does
Yeah.
many
he
times,
definitely
and
does.
not just him.
He made everyone in the audience.
everyone in the audience, and everyone in his stories. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this one was ironically family themed.
Yeah, for real.
He had some. He opened with pushing his wife down the stairs.
He didn't actually. It is a
No,
joke.
that was just the bit because the whole joke was, how if you have to call 911 because in a very unbelievable way you're going, yeah, my wife fell down the stairs. The whole
at like 2 in the morning.
Yes, the whole story is, yeah, buddy, sure. You totally didn't push her.
So, and throughout the rest of the show, he would make nods of like, so I just punched her in the face.
Yeah.
I just pushed her down the stairs.
Yeah, and then, like, it would go towards, like, even his mom and sons. Like,
Yep.
He'd just be like, and then I push him down the stairs. So I love it when comics do that, and they know that's a good way to get some easy laughs, too.
Oh, yeah.
Connecting it all.
Yeah.
It's a formula, but it's a good formula.
It works.
Exactly. And it's not a bad formula. Like,
Nope.
there's bad formulas for people to use, and it's a good one.
I mean, even like in our group when we hang out, we do that too. We circle back and connect all of our jokes.
Yep. We had a really dumb one that it definitely has had its time, but as long as it's only used like once every 6 months, it still gets a good, at least a not a pity chuckle, but a gosh dang it, I'm laughing at this chuckle. That would be hole.
Yeah, that is a stupid one.
So that derived from literally just saying the word hole in a weird way at work.
So, I will take credit for this because I started.
Yes, it was you. I know that.
Um,
You and I were working. I was serving. You were dishwashing.
So what I would do is I will call someone an a-hole, but I go, yeah, a hole. So I'd call you a hole rather than an a-hole. So then I really wasn't expecting it to take off.
And then it just did.
And every once in a while we'll say it for no reason.
Yep. It's super stupid, but
It's incredibly stupid.
it's just the combination of the fact that it's really dumb, the word it is, and the way you say it. Like, the way you articulate it is using that voice in particular.
Hole, 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 hole.
A lot of no laughs right
Yeah, that's okay.
now. So, not to really take away any of his jokes, but that show was phenomenal. I
Killer.
hit one of his last jokes. I'm not going to say it, because definitely can't get away with that.
No, but that was
I couldn't breathe. I was
couldn't
crying. I was literally lunging forward, like clenching my stomach.
My stomach hurt. I was laughing so hard. I was laughing so hard.
I'm remembering the joke right now.
And of course, because you see him on stage, you see the actions that he does too, which
yes.
just, it sends you even to more hysterics watching him
Yeah.
do it as he makes those jokes.
So if you want to know exactly what we're talking about, we're going to stop talking about this probably now just because we can't give away the jokes.
No.
And, you know.
If you want to know, go see him.
Yes, go see him.
He's back in Boston in November.
Yep, the I'm Coming Everywhere tour. I'm sure he's filming on this.
Oh, no doubt.
At one of the shows, and it'll show up on either Netflix or something.
On his Instagram, which I think is just Tom Segura, he just released the third leg of his tour, and just for craps and giggles, I was checking to see if he was coming back to Boston, and I think it said he's coming back in like November or something.
Wonderful.
So
if you're in the Boston area, go see him.
for us, that's where we would go. But
Yes.
he's literally traveling all over the country.
Yeah, the night before, if not the night before, the last show he performed. What was it? Kentucky or Kansas?
Kansas,
Kansas.
because he said it was obviously much better here.
Yes. And then he made some good jabs at Boston because you kind of have to. It's Boston.
Yeah,
Like, we understand. We get it.
yeah.
It was the day after St. Patrick's Day, too. So he made some good jokes about that.
We were the hungover crowd.
Yes, we were. To be honest, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Not me personally.
No, me either. I had one Guinness.
I had 4, but wasn't hungover.
That was good.
I take care of myself.
That's good.
Also, that's only 4 beer.
Man, that's not that much.
No. Also, I don't really get hungover from beer anyways.
I
I just get the beer poops.
The worst I've ever felt was the night after those 13 shots. The worst I've ever felt the next morning.
The one where we both threw up?
No, that was the night at JR's.
Oh, that one. You didn't throw up on that one? I thought you
Yes,
did.
I did. Oh,
okay,
yes,
I was going
I
to say,
did.
I thought, yeah, I remember. I was in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I was patting your back. There. Here's some water.
It was by design, though.
Oh,
I was
yes.
I was going through a little bit of a tough time, so I said I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna feel better. I didn't feel better in the moment, but 2 days later, I was like, yeah, I needed that.
Hell yeah.
Not a healthy way to deal with your problems.
But
It worked.
I'm not gonna condone it, or is that the right word?
Yeah, you had it. Yeah, I'm not condoning it, but it worked.
Oh
Don't
no,
try
I
it.
wanted to say the other one. I'm not gonna bash it either.
Oh, I mean, look,
Yeah.
I'm not bashing it, but don't do that. Yeah, no, that was the worst I felt. And as far as I know, 13 was the minimum that I had.
Absolutely. I don't know what the actual count totals to, but
I do not either, but those sriracha shots were delicious. He is now yawning.
I yawned away. That way they wouldn't know. You gave away my secret.
Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Oh, yes. We were going to rewatch that trailer.
Oh, no!
So, because of us being 2 weeks late to re-recording, we had a list of things we wanted to talk about. One of them being the Kenobi trailer that released out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Finally.
We had a scheduling conflict last week, so we had to push it back
So,
one more week.
the biggest takeaway is the amount of Inquisitors that showed up. At least 2 of them, I believe, not being identified. Or maybe it's only 1. The rest we recognized from either the Rebels show. Actually, yeah, just the Rebels show. I don't think the other ones that showed up were in the comics. Maybe they were. But yes, so they showed a fair amount of the Inquisitors in the trailer, which was pretty epic. The opening to it.
The music for the trailer.
Duel of Fates, baby.
Oh.
I wanted to cry. And then they had the sand like misting away when they.
I felt like the Michael Scott meme. I am ready to get hurt again.
Oh yes.
I'm ready. Make me cry.
Loved seeing Ewan McGregor. Also, Lars.
Yes.
Uncle Owen. Oh my god.
Yes.
The same actor who portrayed him in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. He's come back. Looks like he might have a bigger role, which would be wicked cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because actually in the comics, you see Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru like defending their homestead against stormtroopers, and they like whoop their asses. It's actually wicked cool to see.
That makes sense why they torched the hell out
Yeah,
of
they were
it.
probably like, hey, by the way, we sent a squadron there, and they kind of got their ass beat by these farmers. Thermal detonators. You got it. Yeah. Which, fun fact about that scene in the movie, George Lucas played around with the idea of making it Boba Fett that did that. And then he was like, nah.
Okay. Okay.
Could you imagine, though?
I'd be okay with that.
That would make me hate Boba. Not really, actually. After I think about it, they're not.
He's
established
so
enough.
cool.
Yeah, but I'm glad they didn't. If they made it like Bosk or something, that would be okay.
See, I'm okay with with the fact that they didn't, which is probably why I'm
Yeah.
also okay with the idea of him doing it, because they didn't.
Mm-hmm. Although, like, the fact that it's the Empire, not a bounty hunter, that did, I think, still has more of an effect. The Boba Fett thing reveal would have been more of a kind of like a, hey, this new character that I introduced in the sequel did it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, so the trailer had music that made us want to cry. Like you said, I'm ready to get hurt again.
I am.
There's
Bring
memes.
the pain.
There's memes, of course. The same thing happened with Cad Bane. No one likes the portrayal of an animated character in live action. I think he looks terrifying. And not because he looks bad. I think he looks scary.
I'm just excited that he's in it.
Right. So one of my disappointments, which I got over when I rewatched Rebels, I didn't rewatch the whole series. I rewatched just like the first season. And then I got bored. Just because I think it was like too short after first viewing it, even though it was like 2 years. I didn't like how the Grand Inquisitor, with the name the Grand Inquisitor, was in one season and died in the finale. Spoiler for a show that's been out for like almost 10 years.
It's been out that long?
Not quite that long, but maybe. Hold on. My turn to use Google. I'm going to Google the release date.
All right.
While I do that, you mentioned some points in the trailer.
So, I mean, you pretty much took most of what I was going to say. I mean, we've discussed this a little bit at length at work. And
So what are you excited for, like, about the Grand Inquisitor actually being in it?
I'm just excited that he's there. I'm excited for the whole thing. To see Hayden Christensen again, the flashbacks with him and Obi-Wan together, to see Darth Vader, hearing his...
Oh my god, yeah, that's chilling.
The whole thing, it pumped me up in a way that I have not been pumped up in quite some time. I was very excited. I thought the music choice, the fact that they actually put all of those music choices in the trailer were awesome.
The reveal or the transition to Duel of Fates it caught me off guard.
And you know they mean business when they get John Williams to come back and do the score.
Seriously. So another way to put impact on the music choice for a trailer is if it makes you remember where you were when you saw/heard it, you know it made an impact. I was in the parking lot of Chris's Barbershop in Sterling, Massachusetts at 2:25 in the afternoon, and I got the notification on my phone that the trailer was out. My haircutting appointment was in 5 minutes. I said, I don't care. I need to watch this. And I watched it, and I almost cried. I was holding back tears because I had to go in to get my haircut, and I didn't want to come in with oh my God. Oh, honey, it's okay. It's just a haircut. Which, by the way, quick tangent, I looked it up. 2014 was season 1.
Whoa, okay.
Last season ended in 2018.
Okay, so the last season, really, it only ended 4 years ago?
Yep. It's got 4 seasons.
Crap. It feels like a lot longer.
It does.
So, where I was sitting on the couch between lunch and dinner, and I just so happened to open up Instagram, and I saw a post about the trailer. So I Googled Kenobi trailer to see if it was legit, and then 1,000 different videos popped up, and I the first one that was there was from Star Wars, so I said, oh yes, we are watching this. And I sat there, I put my Xbox controller down, I muted the TV, and I watched it like 6 times.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, whoever's running this.
Deborah
Chow, hurt me. Make it hurt. Give me pain.
Oh my god, so we got to see a couple different worlds, not just Tatooine. I know another meme on Tatooine. Think about it. Think of Tatooine as the Earth
desert planets
of Star Wars. It is like in the movies that we make, Earth is the main planet. Well, Star Wars universe, Tatooine's basically their Earth. Like for the Star Wars storyline that we know as for now. That's what I should say.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, because they used Tatooine at first, like, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Also,
like
you're not going to have a Kenobi show where it doesn't take place on Tatooine. I'm sorry.
Well, again, because that's how they set it up at first. Like, I don't think they were planning back in 1977 or whatever it was that, hey, 45 years from now, when he has his own show... But looking at it, like, that's how they set it up, that he became a hermit to watch over Luke on Tatooine. Of course it's going to be on Tatooine. Boba Fett, working for the Empire. Well, right now he's working for Jabba, right? Trying to get Han Solo.
Yep.
Jabba's on Tatooine. So where's Boba going to go when he has his own show? Tatooine. Like, if you just... I understand, but... It makes sense. Mm-hmm. So, shut up.
So, we got to see another world. We got to see, I believe her name is the third sister. Don't know her name, the actress.
Couldn't tell you.
A young African-American woman. playing the third sister. She looks like a badass, just even without her helmet. Like the scowl that she's got, I'm like, I don't want to mess with you. Also, so we see her on some like nighttime city that kind of reminisces of like Busan.
Yeah.
Like really cool to see areas like that used more, because I feel like in the live action series so far it's really just been generic like forests, obviously Tatooine, um, a water planet. Like there's not a lot of buildings and civilization. It's just been a lot of landscape. And I
Yeah.
liked to actually see like it. Like I liked the opening of season 2 of Mandalorian because we actually got to see a little town. But then again, it wasn't like anything different from like Navarro or Tatooine, where it's like very generic mud houses, whatnot. But this actually looked like, oh, this is actual city, where we usually only see that in Bespin, Naboo, Coruscant, and that was all in the movies, not in any of the shows.
Right.
So I'm excited to actually get some more scenery. I'm not disappointed at Tatooine. I'm just excited to see more.
Tatooine Underworld. The
Oh, yeah, we
Tatooine
did.
Underworld Police. The top.
The tub. So the underworld of Tatooine.
That's where the crate dragon lives.
Ah. Now, which is the lesser crate dragon? The one that's in the KOTOR games, or the one that got killed by Mando? I would assume the lesser is the smaller, so that would be the one from KOTOR. But that one had legs. This one was a worm.
That.
So I don't like. I could also see, just because it's a worm, it being lesser.
Let's see if good old Google. We like to use Google here on our
Yes.
cast.
Because the smart thing to do would be to
KOTOR
prepare and have all this
Crate
information
dragon
in front of us.
size. Yeah, but we like to just kind of have a rough game plan of what we want to talk about, and then just kind of
We also don't really have the time to plan.
yeah. So,
Hopefully that can change.
oh hey, look, there's a thing on Reddit: Mandalorian versus KOTOR Crate Dragon.
Ah, this must have been a hot debate.
So
I know that when I first saw it, I was not caught off guard that it was like a worm, because it was already established that you can have multiple types of crate dragons.
this one is just that someone's mad that they're different, they look different.
Of course somebody's mad. There's people that think the Inquisitor, because he doesn't have this elongated, disproportionate head like only an animated character would have. Like that he doesn't have it, that he has like a almost normal person head. I say almost because I believe it. He has like a thicker top of the head.
Okay, so I found a reply. It says the KOTOR Crate Dragon is a canyon crate.
Ah.
This is a greater crate dragon, which are the larger of the two subspecies, and even in Legends, it looks relatively similar to the now canon one.
Yep.
So, just reading from that, the KOTOR one is bigger.
Really? Well, not the one you fight. It's tiny.
That's
Didn't you say that the greater, which being the one that's in the show, is the bigger one?
hold on, I gotta pull that up again. Where did it go?
Because the one you fight in KOTOR is tiny.
Let me see if I can find that reply. The KOTOR Crate Dragon is a canyon crate. This is a greater crate dragon, which are the larger of the two subspecies.
When he's saying this, I think he's referring to the one in Mando.
It's not but it's in the same sentence, so I assume that he's still talking about the crate dragon.
I think
from
he's
KOTOR.
just an idiot and doesn't know how to type.
So it says
Because he's basically describing two different dragons in this sentence.
the KOTOR Crate Dragon is a canyon crate, comma. This is a greater crate dragon.
That's what it should be.
Well, so that's what it says.
Oh.
So that's why I assume it's talking about the KOTOR Crate Dragon.
Yeah. No, I think he's talking about the Mando one.
Okay.
Is the Mando crate a greater crate because I can't type one-handed, it comes out as drate.
I mean, they're still huge.
Yep. The one in Mando, that's what he's talking about. It's called a crate. Greater crate.
So it's just bad English.
Yes.
Surprising.
Wow, someone on the internet doesn't know how to type, and it's not just me.
Well, I mean, you don't know how to type anyway.
Well, I do. It's just my thumbs are too big, and I don't give enough of a crap to fix it sometimes.
I've heard that excuse for years.
And it's the truth, though.
I just gotta give you crap about it.
Well, what if I'm sensitive?
Oh, boo-hoo.
I'm a snowflake.
Oh.
My opinion matters.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, no one gives a shit. Dude, sometimes when people, like, in particular, were complaining about Cad Bane's appearance and the Grand Inquisitor's appearance being so different, it actually makes me embarrassed sometimes to be a Star Wars fan, because I'm like, I'm sorry, but I don't associate myself with them, but they're not going to know the difference.
They're probably the same people.
I did not expect that to get picked up by the mics.
Oh, did they actually pick it up?
I heard it.
I didn't.
I did.
Okay, good. So, I
Well
totally
done.
lost my train of thought. That really threw me for a curveball.
I thought it felt like it was going to be a smaller one.
I cannot remember what I was gonna say at all. Train of thought gone. No idea.
Disassociating from Star Wars fans.
Oh yes, thank you. I feel like the people who complain about all these appearances also think that the most recent trilogy was good.
Yeah. The Star Wars fandom is the most divisive fan base, but in its defense at the same time, it's also the biggest fan base out there, other than Christianity.
All right.
I mean, if you think about it, you've got so many different sects of Christianity, and then you've got the prequel fans, the original trilogy fans, the sequel fans, the people who only like the original trilogy and the prequels, the people who like all three, the people who have never seen the shows, the people who swear you have to see the shows, you know, etc.
You have to see the shows. I'm one of those people.
Yes, I am as well.
As excuse me, especially like Mando.
Mm-hmm. I don't get the
Boba.
people who are like, oh, it's just a cartoon.
The Clone Wars.
The
great
Clone
show.
Wars is the
Rebels.
one of
great
the
show.
best animated shows of all time. I'm going to say it.
Hot take.
Hot take. I think it's one of the best animated shows. And I'm not even saying kids shows. Animated shows across all boards. One of the greatest. I'm not saying it is the greatest, but it's definitely one of. The storytelling in it is phenomenal.
It is.
Like, the stories that are in it are not meant for kids. They are toned down for kids.
Right.
Like, just look at the Savage and Maul brothers storyline. The brothers aspect of the clones. Sneeze.
Every time he sneezes, it looks like he dabs. That was only 2. Where's the 3rd?
It's hiding. I feel it.
And there it is. That's number 3. He always sneezes in...
A chunk of food came out.
That is gross.
What do you call those things? The tonsil things? You know what I'm talking about?
No. I don't have tonsils.
Oh.
I got mine removed when I was 6.
It's something weird. I think they call it like a tonsil stone or something like that.
Ooh.
Where basically a piece of food has just been chilling there for too long.
That is so hot.
It
I'm going to have to do
smells horrible.
another waistband. Yeah, I saw you sniff afterwards.
I was seeing if it was that. You know, it's like somebody who scratches their butt. You gotta smell your fingers. Anyone who denies it is a liar.
Well, yeah, because you got to know if you got a stinky butthole.
Well, you also gotta know. Is something there?
Well, yeah. You do the look and then the sniff all
I
at
gotta
once.
take a sip so I can get that flavor out of my mouth.
Well, that's what you get for.
Well, no, the flavor, not the smell.
Oh, not the smell. The
No,
flavor.
no,
Okay.
the flavor was.
What did it taste like? Old food.
So it's worse than throw up because throw up at least tastes like your stomach acid. This is something that hasn't even had that.
So I understand what you mean, but the way you said that to me at first made it sound like you enjoy the
I
taste
don't.
of stomach acid.
No, 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 no. At least you can. Ugh. Oh, the flavor's like.
He's shaking. He's rattled. He's rattled.
It's a bad taste. You
He's
know.
rattled.
You know what it does taste like? The smell of swamp ass.
Ooh.
That is exactly how it tastes, and I will throw up if I don't fix this.
Oh, that's not. We don't want that. So we're gonna cheer him on as he sips.
Coffee. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna take a sip and swig it and swish it around.
Chug, 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 chug. He's using mouthwash, or he's using it as mouthwash. That's not what I wanted.
just
Chug,
gonna
chug,
sip.
chug, chug, chug.
All right, the smell's gone off my fingers.
What if it wasn't, and you just had to go through that whole thing all over again? Do it.
Oh, not in my mouth. Are you kidding? I have a Glade Stay Cool Watermelon limited edition air freshener.
Is that the one you got at the dollar
Spray.
store?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that
It
works.
smells amazing. Too.
It does. It works.
I've bought other ones like
Oh, now I'm smelling it.
this Amber Woods. Oh, this one's Sure Sense. That's why it smells like garbage. It's not even Glade. I was gonna say I bought some of these before from the dollar store, and they smell. Like
Dude, the
horrible.
Glade plug-in wall plugins.
Oh yeah, those are phenomenal.
Yep. I have a couple of those in my house.
Yeah, leave it to the dollar store to just actually have some good hidden gems
Yeah. Well, it's the dollar store. You can find a lot of good stuff there.
for $1
Exactly.
or $1.25.
Boo.
Anything else noteworthy? Let's see. Got chills seeing just the feat of somebody being suspended in air either by the force or by being hanged.
Shock T.
Death number 7.
Shock T. I'm calling it. Shock T. Shock T.
So remember how in Rebels they tried to lure Jedi by having the mummified body of Luminara?
Mm-hmm.
What if they show stuff like that?
Ooh.
They could bring in other Jedi we know or have just seen, and they're probably going to show a lot of Jedi getting killed.
Cal Kestis.
Well, he doesn't get killed.
They're going to show him.
That would be cool.
I mean, might as well bring him into live action, right?
So, because we've got the Mandoverse going on, I'm not going to be shocked if we see a little kid Din Djarin or something. Well, actually, no, he wouldn't be a kid at this point.
No, because he was a kid in the Clone Wars.
Correct.
So maybe they'll have a nod to him being,
He'll just be walking in the background.
or they'll have the Razor Crest.
Yeah.
You'll just see it or something.
I feel like we definitely will. Or maybe it'll tie into Grogu. Maybe they will show him rescuing Grogu.
I want to see how Grogu escapes.
So I talked with Ben, shout out, at work about this. So with all the rumors of Sam Jackson wanting to come back as Windu, which I half believe he actually said that, if he came back, I would, you want to hear how I would want it personally? I would hate for him to show up in Mando or something like that, because it's really? You did nothing all these years? You suck. Go die again. I never wanted you to come back. This is how I would want it. Ready? Season 3 of Mando or the Kenobi show, just a brief showing of Grogu. The reason why I say Mando Season 3 over Kenobi is just because Grogu is established as one of the main characters. He's main character number 2. Main character number 1 being Mando.
But Grogu still has stolen the show.
Yes.
And our hearts.
Yep. So here, we're going to call it Grogu and Friends then.
Yeah.
So in Grogu and Friends Season 3, I would want just a brief montage literally showing the outside perspective of the window. Windu crashing out of the window, being electrified, and he's passed out, and before he makes the impact on the ground. So imagine that, dude. You're looking up at the Senate building, and then you just he's coming out, his electrified body, and then the camera follows him as he's falling. You hear the whoosh of all the air and stuff, and then he comes to.
And he comes to, and right before he stops, and he just holds up the sign like Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, exactly. No, so then he's like, oh crap, and then he uses the Force to kind of slow his fall, and then he lands, and then he's like, this isn't good. But he's like, or maybe he like passes out because he just went through a lot, you know. So maybe he barely slows himself enough he makes the impact, but it's not lethal. And then the screen goes black. You hear choo choo shooting clone troopers and Jedi, and then he comes to again finally. But it's like, you know, time has passed. The Jedi temple is now being ransacked. He runs in to try to save people, comes across Grogu, or maybe he knows about Grogu and purposely seeks him out, tries to rescue him, dies in the process, and then we're following many Jedi running with Grogu, trying to rescue him, with every single one dying along the way. So many sacrificing their lives for him in particular, until finally we get...
Until Luke shows up and saves him.
Yeah, like either we go that way and somebody finally rescues him, and then...
What if Ahsoka rescues him?
Ooh, wait. No, until he finally gets caught by the Empire. Because we know the Empire has him. So what if they've been studying him this whole time?
Wait, but...
So we think it's going to be a happy ending or something like that. Like, that's how I would want Windu to show up. I want him to stay dead. Just maybe he didn't die by that, but still dies in basically the same time period.
But I thought the Empire studied him once they got him because Mando brought him.
Well, I would have... So what I assumed is that they had him, because how else would they know about him?
The Empire's really smart. They have agents everywhere.
That's true.
And
I believe
once the Jedi Temple fallen, like all those secrets that they could have gotten.
I just assumed that like the Nikto gang somehow got him, or whoever it was. I just remember a lot of Niktos being there.
Yeah.
And that's fresh in my mind because of Boba Fett. I don't know. I just assumed some gang got a hold of him, like stole him from the Empire. Although I guess it's more believable that they knew about him. I mean, Palpatine knew everything.
He did.
I mean, they had access to all of the holocrons and records of the Jedi, so... The Sacred Jedi texts!
Well, I mean, you were supposed to keep one of those holocron Jedi book things alive in the library in Battlefront 2.
That is true.
That I struggled so hard with that mission for the longest time because I couldn't figure out how to kill Jedi. I was like, just wait till they turn around, Zach. They can't block if they can't see you.
I think my version of Battlefront 2 on the PS2 was so bugged because the timer never went up when I got kills as it was supposed to. Like, the lightsaber timer when you played as a hero.
Huh.
It never did that for me.
Is there a setting?
And there were no AI that would be playing them. Like, when I played it on the Xbox, when they added it to, like, what do you call it? The backwards compatibility on the Xbox One, when they added it there, and I played it, I was like, wait, why is there an enemy Mace Windu when I'm playing the Separatist? And you're like, that's the bots, dude. And I was like, what? Like, dude, even the commands to tell your allies what to do, those never worked.
Those have always been tricky with me. I had to look it up. You have to be a certain rank for the commands to work.
I mean, I was maxed out on literally everything but the rocket launcher, I think.
Yeah, the rocket launcher one's a pain in the ass.
I didn't have the patience for that. The engineer was the most fun.
I love the engineer. He in close quarters, he's unbeatable.
The jetpack, dude.
The jetpack and the shotgun. I'm probably gonna butcher it, but the flechette.
Yeah.
The flechette shotgun. Oh,
that and the sniper, probably two of my favorites. The Empire team.
I did not like the sniper, reward sniper.
Oh no, the reward sniper was worse. It was just a beam.
So I figured out how to use it because you can do like you can shoot and do a side swipe, and you can take out multiple people at once.
Yeah, because it was a beam instead of just a single laser. Yeah.
But headshots don't work.
No.
With the beam. You have to start below and aim up.
Yep.
Which I do not like.
The pistol.
Oh.
The reward pistol.
Don't get me started on that pistol. I could literally solo a game using just the pistol.
Heck yeah, dude, it was so good.
It was way overpowered. Way overpowered.
You know, for the longest time, the jet trooper for the clones, in particular Battlefront 1, I loved him.
Really?
Yep. Not really a fan of him in Battlefront 2.
See, because I got good with that pistol. I wouldn't even use his EMP. I would just switch to the pistol, and I just hit people while I'm in the air because they can't hit you while you're in the air.
Yeah, I think the reason why I liked him better in the first one is because it didn't really act as an EMP. It just was kind of like a mini rocket launcher.
I mean, I kind of got that feel in Battlefront 2. It was called like the EMP
it
launcher
definitely
or
had
whatever.
a bigger blast radius, I think, in the first one. That's probably
Oh,
why
no
I
doubt.
liked him.
I love playing as the Bothans and the Wookiees.
I hated the Bothans.
I hated going against them because they used to always sneak up on me.
I just never liked his gun. The disintegrating gun. Never liked it.
It was obnoxious to figure out, but sneaking around people and then using it and then running away and coming back, it was fun to be annoying.
I also never played as the Rebels. Like, by never, not that I haven't actually, it's just that I never liked it.
The selling point for me whenever I did was I got to play as a Wookiee, and those things were a pain in the ass to take down. And the bowcaster, it's so good.
Dude, I'm kind of an armor simp. If you have armor like a stormtrooper or clone trooper, that's all I played as.
The Empire characters are better. Although the Imp officer was stupid.
See, I actually loved him.
See, I enjoyed playing as him.
Although I never understood why they gave him a Geonosian gun.
Yeah, and I thought it was kind of silly that he had his silly helmet on it when you played as him.
Really?
It just maybe it's because like I was a kid, so I thought his helmet looked stupid. But like just watching him run around on like Endor with his stupid helmet on, or like wherever you could play, like Coruscant running around with his stupid helmet on, like dude, just take off the helmet.
The voice acting in those games were phenomenal too.
Oh, the Empire in particular. I loved
enemy
it.
has taken a command post. Take it back.
I'm trying to think of it. Whoever has dropped our flag will pay for their incompetence.
Dude. There was another. Dude, I just loved the sound design in that game too. Like, even just navigating the menus like in Galactic Conquest. Oh my god, that was great.
My favorite game mode.
I can't describe the sound, but I've got each sound effect in my head going. Just navigating the menu. Like when you'd like save your game and all that.
Oh, it's such a good. I don't want to.
For years, it was my favorite game, like, of all time. For a long time. I want to say up until high school, some point in high school, like junior or senior year.
For me, Skyrim is my all-time favorite. Black Ops and Battlefront 2 are probably tied for second.
Really? Black Ops?
I
know you love Black Ops, but for me, just because it's a Call of Duty title,
see,
I'm kind of like... Although that's back when they still had quote-unquote integrity, I guess.
And I separate this one because this was the first one that I really played, and this is what got me into Call of Duty.
You're what actually got me into Call of Duty. Like, I played them in the past, but, like, I never gave a crap about them. And then when I would see you be like, Steve, you can actually try. And I'm like, but all I do is die. You're like, well, go against bots and me. You're going to die a lot, but practice. And then you taught me how to quickscope and all stuff.
And I'm still really bad at it. But I taught you the way that my friends taught me, and one of my friends taught me beat like a bunch of ranked people, like the top ranked snipers in the world or whatever. He could beat them. So when he taught me, I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll listen to you, and it worked. I didn't care enough to practice it all the time.
I discovered a way that I like to snipe, and this works the best for me. I believe the technical term for it is swiping. So what it is, it's you begin ahead of the target, and then you start to aim in while moving your gun towards where they're going to be. And by the time you're doing the quick scoping action of you just quickly, briefly being over their head, you're like literally doing like a fluid motion of starting at, for example, if they're running towards your left from the right, you start by aiming at the left side of your screen, swiping over, and then briefly aiming down, firing. So it's like a quick from left to right motion.
Yep.
Yep. So that's just how I end up sniping, and it works out really good. I remember making a Destiny sniping montage and putting it on Instagram years ago, and I was like so proud of myself. And then people were like, "You're bad." I'm like,
Well, that's okay.
no, the people that I killed are bad.
Having haters means you're doing good.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just a quick tangent off of my buddy who taught me, just to give you an idea of like how when he wants to, even when he just wants to mess around, he can still be really good. I was playing Search and Destroy with him on Array, and
Very good snow map.
it is it's one of the better maps. It doesn't get talked about enough because it has like jungle and firing range and Nuketown. Summit. So we were on Array, and he said, "You know what? I'm gonna use the Dragonov in Search." So I said, "Okay," and he goes, "And just because I feel like it, we're gonna put the infrared sight on it." He went 18-0.
Jeez, some people were beasts.
Like, and he wasn't trying at first, and then he realized, oh, I'm doing really good. We're gonna try. So he went 18-0 using the worst sniper with the worst scope.
Was the Dragonov really the worst?
Oh yeah,
I liked the Dragonov a lot.
it was terrible.
See, I remember everyone
the
using
Dragonov-
the L96.
The L96 was the best, and then there was the WA and the PSG, the WA 2000. So the Dragonov was the starter.
I remember
Sniper.
that. Which one was black? And it was the last one you unlocked.
That was the PSG.
Okay. So what was the other one?
The WA 2K.
I don't think I liked the WA.
The WA 2K was very hit or miss. It was strong if you got a headshot, but it did like no damage otherwise.
Now, what was that? It was I believe it was a burst rifle.
G11.
Yes, it was the ugliest thing ever. And
Oh, but it was so good.
Yeah, and that made me mad because I was like, it's so ugly. I don't want to use it. One of the best guns in the game, too, and actually in every COD since, was the MP5.
Yeah, I don't know why they insist on making the MP5
As good as it is.
every time.
Yeah. Maybe that's just a testament to how good the MP5 is. I actually only like the AK-47 in Black Ops 1.
Dude, yeah.
I'm not a fan of it in any other installment.
I enjoy using it in Cold War. It's
I actually-
not that great,
I
but
don't like assault rifles in Cold War as much. I think their best guns in that game are the submachine guns.
my best matches come when I usually use the AK. Like
My
I try to use the submachine guns or other assault rifles that I just don't do good, and I'll swap to the AK, and instantly I do better.
I believe the PPSH is my favorite one. The psh.
The no cap.
For real. But yeah, always and forever
Always
use
and
the
forever.
PPSH. That's my go-to.
Yeah. I don't remember my go-to because I don't play it that much anymore.
Oh, wait, actually, my other go-to, what was it? I used a gecko skin on it.
What? I don't remember the names of
Or it was Rainforest Frog or something. It was
That
the one
sounds
you
more familiar.
used in Zombies, and you're like, yo, Steve, it's actually low-key good. And I was like, oh, no, I used your multiplayer. It's really good.
Dude, in Zombies, it slaps.
Yeah, what was the name of it?
I don't remember.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Not the Spectre. It was,
I don't remember.
it's a good submachine gun. Somebody knows.
Maybe after my shower tonight, I'll hop on and I'll check and I'll text
I've had
you.
no motivation to go on to Zombies, which is crazy because we played Call of Duty Cold War Zombies for an entire year.
Dude, we were all about it, but they whiffed. on Vanguard. They
yeah.
whiffed. That's okay.
I don't like how they, as soon as they come out with another COD, they just stop updating the other one. It's like, come on, just keep. It's got a good shelf life on it, especially because of zombies, and they just completely dropped the ball when it came to Vanguard in like all aspects.
Mm-hmm.
Like the multiplayer is not that good. The weapons in it are fine for the most part.
Did you see that Snoop Dogg is a playable character in Vanguard now?
Are you serious?
I saw that yesterday or today. But you can play. He's an unlockable character now.
Wasn't he also one in Ghosts, or was it just that you could buy his voice pack for Ghosts? Call of Duty Ghosts.
I didn't play Ghosts.
I didn't either, but I remember a DLC where you could buy. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I remember seeing the ads for a DLC where I do believe it was like a voice pack, where he basically replaced all the dialogue, and it was just Snoop Dogg going like, "Yee."
That's kind of funny though.
Yeah, I think that's hilarious. I believe it was Ghost.
He's now a playable. I don't know if it's a skin or if it's an entire character, but he is now in Vanguard, and he's an unlockable character.
Okay, that's really funny.
So you're gonna see a bunch of people just go "yee" for shizzle.
Some of that green sticky icky. Ooh wee,
ooh wee. This is how I die. Ooh wee.
Ooh. Wee. That would be Mr. Poopy Butthole from Rick and Morty.
Great character.
Yeah, he had a good return in season 4.
He did. Here,
I'm just gonna fix myself. I'm sliding.
That's all right. We're pretty much done. I really have nothing much left to add. All right, you got it?
Yeah.
Ah,
I was leaning back in my chair with my feet up. Yeah, I don't have anything else to add for. Let's see, the Kenobi trailer. Really believe we touched on the biggest points.
Yeah,
I mean,
we did.
if you want to look at any good breakdown, can I give a shout out to a channel?
Have at it.
Go watch New Rockstars. They do a great frame by frame breakdown where they literally are pausing and having all the patience in the world that I do not have to make a connection to absolutely everything. And they translate all the Orabesh.
Ooh.
Even in the neon signs. They translate it all, which actually ends up translating to really cool Easter eggs to like names of people who have worked on past franchises, or even a character, like a little shout out to a character that you never see in
all right, that's kind of cool.
other than like the visual encyclopedias like that are released with every movie or show.
That's cool.
Yeah, so like shout out to them. They put in the effort and they're very entertaining about it too. Best channel I've seen so far in that regard.
Right.
At least in the Star Wars franchise and the Marvel franchise. They do it for every Marvel movie and show.
Word.
Shout out. Yeah.
I think that's it.
All right, so tune in next time.
Next time we're going to have Moon Knight.
Yep, we're going to have Moon Knight. That comes out the 30th. We will record... If we don't record before then, we will
It'll probably
record
be
after.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. If we do record before...
It'll have to be before because I go on vacation. 2 days afterwards.
Okay, so
So it's either we wait until I get back, which would be 3 weeks from now, or we do one. We do one next week before, and then we just wait 2 weeks because I'll be up for 10 days.
Yep. So the next episode, we're going to discuss Overwatch. Overwatch 2 got a live stream, which they discuss stuff about the closed beta, as well as some other features that haven't been shown.
I think it was PvP.
Yep, for their PvP. They did a lot of PvE showcasing back in 2019 when they did their first initial reveal. I'm going to watch the live stream. Obviously, it came out on Friday, and I haven't seen it, so I'll be watching the videos on YouTube that I can find so we can discuss some good stuff about that. Good stuff to look forward to.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in Moon Knight.
Yep, talk about Moon Knight getting set up for that since it'll be releasing on the 30th.
Heck yeah. Anything else to anticipate?
Other
than what comes out in May. We've got Multiverse of Madness and Kenobi.
We're gonna build up to those as we get closer to.
Ooh-wee.
I'm looking forward to Moon Knight. I'm still trying to learn more about him.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be a great show. I'm hoping it's gonna be a great show.
Oscar Isaac, he's gonna kill it.
Yes, he is.
Love him.
That's really it.
All right. Well, this has been Steve,
and this has been Zach,
and we'll catch you next time.
You can do it.
Oh, my turn? Oh.
Yeah.
I just kind of like saw it in front of me. So. All right. And boom. I wanted to do it again. All right. Ben, you know how to shake it. Dance us out.